Folks, is it really worth the extra rent? I'll get into that, and then the latest home prices and insights for the Peel and Durham region for week ending August 28th, 2024. With buyer clients, we're walking through a house, and it was obvious this home is a boarding house or a rooming house, however you want to call it. I'm not sure what the exact terminology is, but it had a ton of people living. It was a 3-bedroom home. Every bedroom had 2 or 3 mattresses. There were mattresses in the living room, in the family room, in the dining room, mattresses everywhere, in the finished basement, in the like everywhere. There must have been easy, for sure, at least 15 individuals living in this house. And we are stepping over mattresses to take a look at this home. Look, there's no way my client was interested in this home. But I could tell you from observation, this home, first of all, was not that old, but it looked like from the inside it was really old. Like it was worn out. The kitchen needed to be replaced. The bathrooms needed to be replaced. The flooring was like, it's like a ton of traffic. Like it was just worn out. It wasn't an old home, but totally need to be replaced. So I'm thinking of this and I'm thinking, is it really worth the extra rent? Let me know in the comments below. But I'm seeing this, and those are the thoughts that come to my mind. This home will easily sell for $100,000 less than what any, we'll say, normal living arrangement home in that neighborhood would sell for. There's no way. I mean, the whole home needed to be replaced. $100,000 less at least. Is it worth it? There's that. There's the financial side from that aspect, just the fact that everything needs to be replaced in a home. Then I'm also thinking of, what if something happens, something bad happens, a fire or something? Like, we all have insurance. The idea is that you never need to use the insurance, but it's there just in case for accidents. How's your insurance going to look at it if something happens and they find out that you were renting fractions of rooms to everybody? Like, how are they going to look at that? Are they going to honor the insurance policy? Are they going to make you whole with replacement costs and so forth? Or are they going to say, sorry, you didn't tell us you had 15 people living here. All that is an illegal arrangement and we're not covering the replacement of the home. So sorry that it burnt down. And that's just a home. God forbid something happens to one of the individuals living in there in that situation. So I don't know. No matter how many times I've looked at this situation and I see it in my real estate business, often I'm always mentally reaching the same conclusion. Is it really worth the extra rent that you'll get monthly in the long term? Is it really worth it if the house sells for so much more money and you actually risk your insurance being void? Like, is it worth it? I know many of you watching this channel, you maybe have situations like this that you've done before, or you definitely know of people doing this, or you've seen it being done in your neighborhood. Let me know in the comments below if it makes sense to you and if it's worth it. If you feel this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, it's really simple. Up here, there's a link. Below this video in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Here we go, folks. We're going to take a close look at the Peel and Durham region for detached properties only. We're going to focus on Mississauga, Brampton, and Durham. For Durham, we're looking at only Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as my Durham sample. And again, we're only focused on detached properties. I have average sold prices here for 3 months. Overall, in all these areas, average sold price has been trending down. Now, I do want to say, when we look at the GTA, not the greater GTA, we're not talking about Hamilton or Cambridge and going, out really far out. We're just talking about the GTA. So neighborhoods, cities that basically border Toronto is what I'm looking at. It's not a lot of areas you can buy a detached, the decent detached, for under $1 million. However, Mississauga is not one of those areas. Mississauga, there was about 3, I believe, that sold for less than $1 million. But in Brampton, 34% of all the sales were for detached properties. Not of all the sales. 34% of all detached sales, price was less than $1 million. And for Durham, and I'm only looking at Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby, 47% of the detached sales were less than $1 million. We're going to start off with Mississauga for weekending August 28th. And again, just detached properties. 42 detached properties were sold. 7 of those were at $2 million or more. Now, sales were trending down, but since we started August, looks like sales have been trending up. And that's the opposite of what's happening in a lot of neighborhoods. In most neighborhoods, sales are trending down over the month of July and August. Mississauga, they're up. 42 detached properties were sold. Average sold price up from the previous week. It's now at $1,448,000. But overall, average price has been trending down. Compared to last year, $1,448, it's 5% higher. The median price is 9% higher. Median price is $1,348,000. The dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. Both average price and median price are trending down. Median price is not trending down as aggressive as average prices. 42 were sold, a third, 33% sold at list price or more. Listings trending down. Active listings also trending down. At the beginning of August, we were at 697. Now we're at 626 active listings. Doesn't mean all those properties were actually sold. Many people took their properties off the market in August, and we do expect them to come back on for the fall season. Months of inventory was trending up, but over the last 3 weeks or so, looks like it might be trending down. We're now at 3.4 months of inventory. Still a balanced market, but that helps to kind of explain what's been happening with prices also. As months of inventory was going up, prices were coming down. Now that months of inventory is a little bit more stable or trending down, prices also look like just in the last few weeks, they've been creeping up a bit. Here is Brampton. 50 detached properties were sold. No properties sold at $2 million or more. I've got, since the beginning of April, I've kind of circled that. And in most neighborhoods, like I just finished talking about this for the Mississauga, sales have been trending down in many neighborhoods, especially for July and August. Not in Mississauga and not in Brampton. 50 detached properties is kind of on par for where we've been each week since the beginning of April. So 50 detached properties were sold. Not a big change in actual weekly sales. Average sold price, it is up from the previous week to $1,154,000, but overall, it's pretty clear average sold price has been trending down. Compared to last year, 1,154 is 3% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 1% lower. Both median and average prices have been trending down. 50 were sold, 26% sold at list price or more. Listings have been trending down for detached properties. Months of inventory, it's down a little bit from the previous week, now sitting at 4.3 months of inventory. In Brampton, you will experience a balanced market and a buyer's market depending on which neighborhood, which price point you're in. But here's a summary. Oh, sorry. Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby. I forgot my Durham charts here. For week ending August 28th, 38 detached properties were sold. No properties sold at $2 million or more. Average sold price down from the previous week to $1,077,000. And overall, average sold price, we can go way back, say to the middle of March, average sold prices have been overall trending down in Durham. Compared to last year, $1,077,000, 1% lower. The median price compared to a year ago is 1% higher. Both have been trending down. I'm looking at the dotted line, which is a 4-week moving average. 38 were sold. Half of them sold at list price or more. Now, that percentage, that doesn't necessarily mean lots of people, there's multiple offers, lots of buyers are competing. It basically means that half of the property sold at list price or more. So what it could mean is sellers are not selling, not sellers. They reduce the price to a very competitive price now, and it sells quickly, and the buyer's now prepared to give them what they're actually asking for, or maybe even a little bit more if there is another buyer trying to compete. But these are not sellers selling at premium. In most cases, they're sellers just, please, 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 I need to sell. 77 were listed. Listings of detached properties has been trending down. We expect to see a little bit of change now over the course of the fall, maybe some more listings, but overall listings have been trending down. Months of inventory, it's trending up, but way lower than all the other parts of the GTA. Now it's sitting at 2.8 months of inventory. It's one of the higher weeks that we've had, but 2.8 months of inventory for Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby for detached properties. Now, here's a summary of months of inventory. In most cases, you're going to experience a balanced market. There'll be some rare situations depending on the home, the neighborhood, the price point. The price point compared to what other homes in that neighborhood have sold, you may experience some competition or a bit of a seller's market. But in most cases, it'll be a balanced market, maybe even a buyer's market. There's a lot of pockets in these neighborhoods, especially in the Durham region in the north and in Brampton in the west and the north. There's a ton of new subdivisions with homes for sale. I'm not talking pre-construction. I'm talking about new homes that have recently closed that are for sale. Lots of those lying around. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.